Hi y'all, it's hump day. Okay, I'm back after a short hiatus again. See, you can see Wednesday up there. He's our little mascot, and he's got his friend Tweak, the squirrel. Yeah, they're up there to help me with hump day update, along with the tiny Toby. Okay, so after my brief hiatus because of medical drama, because when isn't my life a train wreck? So let's see. I think the last time I updated you guys, I had the shingles. So I went into urgent care for the shingles. They ended up giving me tramadol and an antiviral. The tramadol did nothing for pain, so I ended up in the ER because I had the worst pain of my life. I would rather have 2 more children without any medication than to go through that pain again. Highly recommend getting the vaccine, and I don't care how old you are. I'm 34 and I got it. So don't let these doctors try to say, oh, well, you don't meet the risk factor criteria of being over the age of 50. Say, screw your risk factor criteria. I know somebody who's 34 and got shingles. I'm not the first or only case. There are more and more people my age or younger that have been getting the shingles. So definitely go get that vaccine, especially if you had chicken pox when you were younger. Because 0 out of 0 stars, I'm telling you, on having the shingles. It was miserable. And especially if you are a female, just warning you, one of the areas that you will get shingles is on your breast. Not fun. Not fun at all. So just throwing that out there. Yeah. Don't recommend. Go get the shot for shingles. Don't let them BS you into not getting it or not letting you have it, because it is miserable. It's every bit as miserable as I remember the chicken pox being when I had them in first grade. Because I remember crying when I had the chicken pox, and the shingles left me crying too. I was in my ER bed crying because I had the shingles. Anyway, so I get pain management for my shingles. I'm going about my time. I go into work. So I went in on a Wednesday. So hence that. I think I did an update after that. Then Thursday night, I couldn't take the pain anymore. Had my husband take me into the ER. Called out from work on that Friday. Went in on Saturday, worked a full shift, came home, went to bed at like 8:30 at night, which is really super unusual for me. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Basically from this ear to this ear was swollen, like down to here. They were worried about my airway. Luckily, I didn't lose my airway or anything like that. But what had happened is, being on the antivirals for the chickenpox allowed the bacteria that was in my bad tooth, it allowed it to activate. I ended up with another abscess on that bad tooth, which led to cellulitis. So for those of you that don't know, that's a really, really bad infection that you don't want. Yeah, and so it was all in my jaw. So I went into the ER at 4:30 in the morning on a Sunday. They did a CT image to figure out what was going on. Loaded me up with pain medication and antibiotics. So that started the first round of IV antibiotics. I think they started at like 6 a.m. I left the ER. They transported me. They admitted me to the hospital and transferred me by ambulance an hour away so I could have surgery and do all that. So I ended up over in Boise and had surgery done. So I couldn't have surgery done Sunday because they had let me eat because it had been after a certain amount of time, and they're like, oh, well, you can go ahead and eat. And the oral surgeon came in and he's like, oh, I could have done this today, but I had eaten. So I had to wait until Monday night. So Monday night rolls around at 8:40 that night. Well, at 8:40 was when I went into surgery finally. Originally, I went down into pre-op around 4:30. They gave me all the meds and then said, oh, well, he ended up in a trauma surgery, so they postponed my surgery. My surgery time finally comes around at 8:40. Mind you, they hadn't let Brandy know anything about the delays. So that was super. I go into surgery 8:40. I come out at 10:40. And they wheel me back to my regular room where Brandy's at. Come out of all the anesthesia and everything. They had been giving me morphine for the past 2 days, the Sunday and Monday, both, all day. Come out of surgery, and all I can have for pain management afterwards was ibuprofen and Tylenol. So, yeah, that was kind of a real bummer. But I made it through. I was able to manage my pain. I think after that, I only had to take like one Percocet after that because I went a little too long, and after eating, my jaw felt really bad. Don't necessarily recommend oral surgery or any of that because I felt constantly like I had a hair in the back of my throat for like 3 days after surgery. It was really bizarre. I hated it. And he said it was because I had scratches in the back of my throat from the tubes and everything. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was like stitches. But anyway, yeah, it was yucky. I hated it. But after a year-long fight of trying to get this tooth removed, I finally got it removed. I had been trying to get that tooth removed since May of last year. And between insurance and availability of doctors and everything else, it just hasn't worked out. Or the fact that the tooth was actually on a nerve. So when I went in for my follow-up with the oral surgeon at his office, because I noticed even after like all the numbing agents and everything wore off, my tongue is still numb. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. Yeah. That whole half of my tongue, still numb. And then my gum line where they pulled the tooth, it's still a little numb in places. When I brush my teeth, that's about the only time I have a sensation. So that's really strange. I have to fight really hard not to bite my tongue. Yeah, it's kind of strange because there was So that tooth ran right along the nerve there. And they didn't cut the nerve or anything, or didn't sever it, but because he did have to move it out of the way, he said that it's going to take time for it to heal. And he said it could take 3 weeks, which it has almost been 3 weeks, or it could take 3 months. There's just no telling. So, yeah. I have to be really careful how I say certain words and things like that. Yeah, because I can bite my tongue really easily now. So it's super fun. Let's see. I think since I did an update last time, Brandy went to his cardiologist. And what we found out for his health stuff is that he has to do an echocardiogram, which is coming up next week. I want to say next Thursday. So it'll be hopefully on the hump day, not next week's hump day update, but the week after. And then he's supposed to go in for a sleep study appointment at some point too, because what the cardiologist said is that basically we were at the wrong type of cardiologist. We needed an electrocardiologist that measures the electrical function of the heart and not just the cardiac tissue of the heart. So, there you go. But we will know more after his electrocardiogram on, I want to say it's on the 20th or the 21st. I don't remember. Yeah. So, that's what's going on with his health. We all just got over a cold. COVID's going around work. So, yeah, it's chaos right now, as usual. Yeah, the kids all brought home a cold, and that's been super. Just got over that. And then come to find out that we have 6 residents. Well, when I left yesterday, it was only 6 residents, but who the heck knows? 6 residents and 2 employees that have tested positive for COVID. And yeah, I go into almost every resident's room in a week of work. So I'm just like, okay, cool. We weren't following precautions over the weekend, and now this is what happens. So, super fun times there. We are still looking for a place to rent, which is, the same song and dance that it's been over the last 5 months. Also found out that the person that put us in this situation is now back in the valley and working at a local retail outlet. So that's super fun to know. But anyway, I'm trying to not let the fact that she exists bother my existence, which is really, really difficult. But nonetheless, I know my lovely hair. Brandy said the other day that it looked like a mushroom cloud. So, I don't know. But anyway, guys, I am going to wander your way another day. I'm going to sit back and relax until Brandy gets home. Probably watch something on my computer. Who are we kidding? I've got Netflix right now because we got a new phone system. And so I get Netflix free for a year. So we're not going to joke around. I'm going to be putting on Grey's Anatomy and cleaning up the room, putting away laundry. Y'all should know that by now. That's my go-to show besides The Walking Dead, which I can't watch right now because Brandy Jo and that's like our bonding show right now. Because she's trying to get through to season 5. So, yeah. Which is a pretty good season. But I've watched all of these episodes like a million times. And I'm like, I want to get to the new stuff that I haven't seen yet, so I can start the new spin-off series of The Walking Dead. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, again, I appreciate your support. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. As soon as I get, I can't even remember, I think I have to get 50 subscribers before I can go live on YouTube. Please help me out with that. I would so much appreciate it. If everybody from my Facebook subscribes to my YouTube, then I would hit that mark and I can start doing lives on there, which would really, really boost our viewers and help me get monetized and everything else. So anyway, guys, we'll see you, hopefully, with any luck, barring any health complications, knock on wood. We will see you next hump day. Until then, love you guys. Be kind to one another. Bye.